Hello everyone, in this video we will draw and label the scheme of the renal cortex. The kidneys are surrounded by fibrous capsule, which is formed by dense irregular collagenous connective tissue. And beneath the fibrous capsule is the renal cortex. Renal cortex contains renal corpuscles, which are composed of glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. The glomerulus is a bundle about 30 interconnected anastomosing perforated capillaries with pores between endothelial cells. And the glomerulus is surrounded by Bowman's capsule. So this is the vas afferent arteriole, and capillaries, and vas efferent arteriole, which is lined by endothelial cells, single layer of flattened cells with flattened nuclei. Bowman's capsule is the initial part of the nephron and is formed by two sheets. With the urinary space in between. Inner visceral sheet is formed by podocytes. I will draw the detail of podocytes. This is the body of podocyte with ovoid flattened nuclei in the center of body, and their cytoplasmatic processes called pedicles. And the pedicles are around the capillaries and for the filtrating barrier. Blood-urine barrier is formed by pedicles of podocytes, processes of endothelial cells, of capillaries, and their basal membrane. So I'm drawing pink podocytes around the capillaries in the glomerulus, and the inner sheet of Bowman's capsule is formed by podocytes. It's a visceral sheet, and parietal sheet is formed by simple squamous epithelium. This is parietal sheet of Bowman capsule, and between the visceral and parietal sheet is the urine space, the space where is the primary urine, and this is the flattened nuclei of the parietal sheet of Bowman's capsule. And another part of nephron is formed by proximal tubule with cuboidal cells with the microvilli. Microvilli are the apical modification for better absorbing the water from primary urine. I will draw the cross section through the proximal tubule. Cuboidal cells with microvilli. The borders between these cells is not good visible. Sometimes these nuclei are not visible in the cross section, and these cells have also basolateral labyrinth, enfoldings of cytoplasmic membrane, and between the enfoldings there are mitochondria, and another part of the nephrons in the renal cortex is a distal tubule. Also is lining by simple cuboidal epithelium without the microvilli, round nuclei. The lumen of the distal tubule is more clear than lumen of proximal tubule. These cells have also basolateral labyrinth and a lot of mitochondria. So the appearance of these cells is eosinophilic, same as cells in proximal tubule. Convoluted part of the distal tubule, which is close the vascular pole of the glomerulus, form macula densa. These cells are cuboidal, but the cells closed by vascular pole are cylindrical with reverse polarity of the nuclei. So the nuclei are in the apical part compartment of these cells and form the dark area macula densa. These cells are the part of the juxtaglomerular complex. Another part of juxtaglomerular complex is formed by mesangial cells and juxtaglomerular cells. Mesangial cells are between the vas afferent and vas efferent, and between the capillaries and podocytes. So this is the mesangial cells. And juxtaglomerular cells are modified smooth muscle cells with synthetic activity. These cells are located in the tunica media of afferent arteriole or efferent arteriole. These cells produce renin. So these cells are called juxtaglomerular cells. So among the nephrons is the interstitial connective tissue formed by loose connective tissue with networks of reticular fibers. So now we label the schemes. Here is the fibrous capsule. This structure is a glomerulus. And Bowman capsule. Bowman's capsule. Form renal corpuscles. This is the simple squamous epithelium, which is from parietal sheath. Of Bowman capsule. This is the podocytes. With pedicles, which form visceral sheet. Of pigment capsule. Capsule. Between the visceral and parietal sheet is a urine space. Urinary space, and here is a urinary pole. And the opposite side is a vascular pole. Here you can see proximal tubule, distal tubule, macula densa, juxta glomerular, cells, and mesangial cells. And interstitial connective tissue. So I believe that's all. Thank you very much for your attention.